So they both graduated at the same time. Alhamdulillah, my mother was on the dean's list, so she had a free ride, and my father was on the D list. But alhamdulillah, he made it through and became a druggist, a person who runs a pharmacy, drugstore. And so they graduated in 1956 in June, and I was born in August, meaning I was conceived at Howard University. And alhamdulillah, it would be 19 years to the day I returned to Howard University on my birthday to start as a student in Washington, D.C.
MashaAllah. And what did you study there in Howard University? Chemistry.
I studied chemistry in undergrad, in graduate school, genetics and human genetics for the master's, and worked on a PhD. So alhamdulillah, in that environment, I was learning a lot. I mean, there was still, in 1974, there was still a robust social movement, struggle in America. And my faith journey and my politics were joined together. So I went back home and I asked the priest, well, what about Christmas? Was Jesus born on December 25th? He said, well, we don't really know when he was born. I said, that's interesting. We don't know. Okay. I said, could Jesus have been born on December 25th, as far as we know? Could he have been born? He said, well, no, probably he wasn't. I said, okay, that's good, because now you've been shooting straight now. I said, well, if that's the case, then why I'm back home visiting my parents for Christmas break, do you think, Father, it might help the congregation if you let them know that we're just doing it this day, but it's not really this day, right? I mean, why you don't tell the people? Why you don't tell the people really that the real deal is that this is Saturnalia. This is a Roman pagan holiday which has been superimposed upon Christianity when the Roman Empire embraced Christianity as the state religion. And that the 12 days of Christmas don't have anything to do with this. It has to do with reconciling the solar and lunar calendars, which are apart by about 12 days. And the tree, Father, what does that have to do with Christmas? Oh, that's another pagan thing, I said, he don't have any answers for me. I'm being respectful. But he's saying to me, yes, I agree with you, I agree with you, I agree with you. These things don't have to, but they become a part of it. And this is just a way for us. And no, this is the rebirth of the S-U-N, Father. It is a solar worship. And this is the winter equinox, right? That's what it is. I mean, it's the winter solstice. Easter is the equinox. That's what we're doing. So it was clear I wasn't going back to that. But I still believe in this, that God exists and that these teachings to the prophets are real. It isn't until I'm at university and I begin studying now and meeting Muslims. And Muslims who are saying, quite frankly.
Now, did you know any Muslims before you went to the university?
Now, this is you asking a very, very heavy question. You see, many people, when you look at your own path, when you're in it, you don't see the significance of what's happening. It's only in retrospect that you can see more clearly. They say hindsight is 20/20. My first babysitter, there in New York City, there are a number of universities, and a lot of international students come, and we had a rooming house. We lived in our lower part of the house, and upstairs we would rent out rooms. And many international students would come and they would rent rooms, like from Africa, from Asia, Middle East. They would rent rooms, go to college, and then they would. So one of my earliest babysitters, somebody who had the character and so on, that my mother trusted them with her only son, Sami Abdul Wahab. So, right? From Sierra Leone, Liberian. Another babysitter, name is Mobalaji. He's from Nigeria. this is an Africanized form of the name Muhammad. He grew up in madrasa. He went to Islamic school. His father was Muslim. So Mobalaji, Sami Abdul Wahab, and others, they were nurturing me when I was young.
Right.
They never said anything to me about Islam, but when I would visit their room, they would eat on the floor and they would have a big tray. And they would put the food on the tray. And if I went like this, eat with your right hand. And I said, what kind of meat is this? Pork? Because, you know, we don't eat a lot of lamb. They used to know this is pork, brother. We don't eat pork. Right? This is lamb. Oh, wow, really? And you eat with him, and you learn how to eat with him. You don't learn that it's Islam. You just learn how to eat. Maybe he was making salat. I didn't know. You know what I mean? There was probably some rug there. I remember in my mind, there was some old-looking rug. I don't know what he's doing. But whatever that influence, it's positive on me. I got it from there. So if I looked along, even when I was in high school, I used to take the subway up to Harlem from Brooklyn with my father to go to his pharmacy, right? This is 139th Street in Lenox. So we get off the subway at 135th.
What was it called? Rexall?
It was Rexall for a while.
Right.
But the name ultimately was Delano Pharmacy in the Delano Village area. Have you ever been the Bronx people? We're very close to the Bronx, so that part, a lot of Bronx people, they would come over sometimes. You might have experienced the Delano Village area, right? But alhamdulillah, we would ride up on Saturday mornings, and around like 110th Street, a lot of these people used to get on the train, and the men would be wearing suits and bow ties, and the women would have some kind of like scarf, but a uniform-looking outfit, almost like a nun. I asked my father, what kind of people are these, Dad? He said, oh, these are Muslims. He said most of them are from Carolina and these kind of places, and they migrated to New York, and some of them were in prison and things like that. And this religion that they have, it helps keep them, you know, morally on the right path. And it's good for them. He said, but people like us, we don't need it. So, you know, but I saw it, and I saw it had some positive social elements to it. You know, I'm still 13, 14, right? But I'm looking. I used to go to the steak and take restaurants, right? And people would say that the Muslim food is clean. I used to go there and get some bean pie, and I saved my little money, get a steak and take, you know, cheesesteak with
Now you
cheese.
said get some bean pie. There's some people who are watching this, they never heard of a bean pie before. What's a bean pie?
Well, you know, for you, listen, I'm on a documentary, a mini documentary called Bean Pie, My Brother. And
come on, tell us what a bean pie is, my brother.
And I tell you, my brother, that if you come to America and you're a Muslim and you leave and you never had a bean pie, you have not had an authentic American Muslim experience. Well, alhamdulillah, Malcolm X, with the help of his sister, who used to make bean pies, and I'm sure it wasn't nothing unique to the Nation of Islam, but Malcolm decided that it would be good if they industrialized the bean pie. So they took beans, and Elijah Muhammad, very shrewd social engineer, realized that navy beans had a good source, if combined with other things, to make a complete protein. People who are poor, they can't afford to buy a lot of meat, so he promoted bean soup.